Hi, this is Tony Davis from See You There Promotions, and I'm talking to the two wonderful front ladies from Brave Rival, Chloe and Lindsay. Good morning, ladies. How are you?
Good
Morning.
morning. We are very well, thank you. We're having a cup of coffee on my sofa.
Very nice too, and looking quite rested, I think, after what's been a hectic period over the last week or so.
Yeah,
Yes, very much so. We both just deep washed our hair
yeah. My hair's still soaking with it, so one of those.
and just having time in our own homes, which has been lovely.
Yeah, I'm sure it has. I mean, we were supposed to do this about a week ago, but the airways let you down, didn't they? Your flight got cancelled or delayed or something.
Yeah, our flight was about a day after we played anyway, and then it got cancelled until the following day. So we didn't get home until the early hours of kind of 2 days later, really, didn't
Of
we?
the gig, yeah.
Yeah.
Mm.
So yeah, it was very hectic. And then we came home for a few hours and then we had three gigs at the weekend. So we were kind of running on fumes really, weren't
On
we?
the Southampton, we were running on fumes, but actually, just before you go on, you kind of pump yourself up as much as you can. But it's not
Mm.
until you get on stage when you really come alive,
Yeah.
and you go, "Oh, I don't feel tired anymore. This is amazing."
And then when you come off stage, you sort of collapse again.
Oh yeah.
Hard crash.
So I think it's been about 15 months since you first came to see us when we put you on at the Black Box in Hastings. And I know we had you back as support for Cardinal Black as well. But as far as that 15 months is concerned, it's been quite a year and a bit for you guys, hasn't it?
Yeah, we've had a lot of stuff happening. We had the new album coming out in May, was that?
I don't know. What
August,
I don't
wasn't it?
even know what my name is anymore,
Oh
Lindsay.
God, I don't even know what's going
I,
on.
I thought the
It
album
came out.
was released on the 16th of August, wasn't
Oh, thanks, Tony. Yeah, that's correct.
Oh, May was the single. That's why.
Okay,
That's why
That's
you're muddling.
right. Yeah.
like last week or whenever it was. Um,
Time is a concept.
Time is a winter. Um, yeah, and we kind of hit the road. I mean, we haven't really stopped. It wasn't like we had a big break and then we went on tour. Like we were still gigging around all the time whilst getting ready for the tour. But now we're solidly on the Fight or Flight tour, and it feels. I mean, it's hectic. I mean, I think last week was probably the most hectic touring week of our entire lives. Um, but we keep going, because we love it, and it's
Yeah.
been magic having the people at the shows, and we've
Having the album launch in this
the
time as
album
well, like
launch.
the response we got from the album launch and the shows that have followed, really. It's kind of like people have been they got up there with us,
Mm,
buzzing with us
Yeah.
from that album launch, and it feels like they've just stayed there with us.
yeah,
Like that buzz hasn't come down. It's been really lovely. It's kind of kept us going.
Because I think the album launch was at Dingwalls, wasn't it?
Yeah, in Camden.
And I saw some of the Facebook stuff you put up from that, and it looked as though that was a really fantastic night for you.
It was special, wasn't it?
it was electric in there.
Yeah, it felt electric.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it really did.
It was like, well, there were so many people there. And we had a few more people in our Portsmouth homecoming show last year. But the ticket sales were very, very close for this one. So it felt really, really busy in there. And just getting on this stage where we thought, oh my God, I can't believe we can headline a place like this.
Mm.
Mm.
And then you see the sea of people that are singing your songs back at you, like so loud as well, from like song one.
Mm.
It was just like, it never gets old.
It will never get old.
No, it's just really special. It's amazing. And we obviously had Johnny Henderson featuring on keys for that show, and we had the incredible Will Wilde get up and play on our single stand up. And we had the Deborah Bonham band who played before us, which,
Who were amazing.
yeah, they were amazing. And she's a beautiful soul. She got us a card and some champers to
Mm.
say like good luck on your
Yeah,
album launch. It
yeah.
was really lovely.
She's a
Really, really
really
lovely.
nice lady,
Special.
isn't she? I've met her a couple of times at a few years ago when they used to do a thing called Giants of Rock at Minehead in January, and Deborah Bonham's band had played there a couple of years when I've been down there and had a chat with her. Really, really nice lady.
Yeah, she is. She's a good soul.
And I mean, as far as this album's concerned, this new album, Fight or Flight, it's the critical acclaim for it has been tremendous, hasn't it?
Yeah.
It really has. We weren't sure how it was going to be received after the first album because there were a lot of comments like, "Oh, you're never going to be able to top the first one," and I think we were a little bit nervous.
We weren't scared at first. It's only until people kept saying that,
Yeah.
and then we were like, "Oh God, do we need to be nervous?"
And then obviously when we got the reviews back from some of these magazines and real people of note, it was just a bit of a I wouldn't say a shock. Some of them were, but I think we were just really quite overwhelmed actually.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we're proud of it. We wouldn't put music out if we weren't proud of what we've created, and also if we hadn't given every single thing that we could to it and made sure it's the best it could possibly be in our eyes and our producers' eyes. We wouldn't put it out if we didn't think it was great. So it's really lovely that other people think it's great too.
Well, absolutely. I mean, from my perspective, having heard it and having been playing tracks from it on the radio on Hastings Rock and on emerging rock bands, it's one of those albums that there's not a duff track on.
Oh,
It's what do they say? It's all killer, no filler.
Yeah,
that's what it should have been called. I think that's the next album.
Yeah, there you go. Next album.
That's what made it.
Yeah. All killer, no filler. Yeah, but I mean, it just is. For me, I really enjoyed Life's Machine, but this has sort of stepped up a little bit. I think it's sort of, yeah, it's really cemented your position as a, leaders in the field, really.
Amazing. That's really nice to hear. Thank you.
So we're bringing you back to Hastings on Friday. We're really looking forward to it. We've got to change of venue. It's no longer the Black Box. We're in the Carlisle in the town centre, and you'll have had a few days off by the time you get back to us, won't you?
Yes, we're off this whole week up until we come to you. So
so you'll be all excited and ready to rock on Friday night then.
Oh yeah, hell yeah. Yes, we've got Hastings on Friday, Frome on the Saturday, and then Cornwall. Is it Lou Rocks or Cornwall Rocks on the Sunday?
It's Cornwall Rocks on the
Sunday.
Yeah.
This touring lark, it drags you here, there, and everywhere, doesn't it? You never really get a chance when you're in a town one night and in the next town the next night. You're halfway across the country.
Yeah. People say that, like, oh, that's a lovely area. Make sure you go and see this. It's like we never get a chance to see any of it.
Inside of a van, inside of a hotel room, if you're lucky, and that's it.
Yeah. We know we're quite affectionate with a lot of the service stations now. Affectionate? That's not the word.
We're picky, is what we are.
Affiliated, I think I meant.
Okay. So perhaps later on we'll question you on what your favourite motorway services are.
I think we've got a list, haven't we? I've got a list going on. I have no idea what
ones to avoid, ones at the best ones.
I read quite an interesting article yesterday. It was from a Facebook post. I think it was Jack J. Hutchinson put it up, saying how difficult it was for musicians now to get out on the road, and because of the cost of transport, the cost of accommodation, and that sort of thing. And I think I might have started a bit of a groundswell because I put a comment up saying perhaps what we ought to do is put together a register of music lovers who would say to bands that are on the road, come and eat with us, come and stay with us. And there's lots of people going, oh yeah, that's a great idea. That's a great idea. So
that's nice.
I think I might have just got myself stuck with a new job.
That is a cool idea. Kind of like
I think that's a really great idea, because the only way that you guys are ever going to make a living is by being supported, isn't it? By the people that come out to the shows, buy the merch and that sort of thing. And it's really, really difficult when you know that you're sort of buying your merch to pay for your night's accommodation or whatever, or selling your merch to pay for your night's accommodation. There's really not a lot coming out on the back end for you guys, is there?
No, not really. But we have such incredible fans. Our Bravians are so generous. They're always like getting our merch, they're always asking for new merch. So they want to spend their money to support us. Obviously the amount of our fans that come out to shows, we've got two of our patrons, actually, our long-standing fans that have hit 50 shows now.
Wow.
Which is crazy.
Well, that's over that now.
And amazing. Even more than 50 now. And we've also got our patrons as well, which has been really, really helpful for us, because having the Patreon platform means that we genuinely are one step closer to making this our full-time living. Like, people coming to the shows, people buying our merch, people buying our music. It makes a huge difference. But having the Patreon as well, it really, really, really helps us, because we really want to do this full time and quit all the other stuff.
Yeah, sure you do. I'm sure you do. Yeah, yeah. So I mean, the five of you are obviously have got a really, really strong bond together. How long have you been together now as a band?
As the five of us,
Yeah.
5 years.
Yeah.
But as pre-Ed, so BE before Ed.
BE.
Before Ed, yeah.
We were going maybe 6.5 years.
Yeah.
But Lindsay, myself, and Donna started it up in 2018.
I think it's 17,
2017.
Wow.
Yes.
I think.
And that was just an acoustic trio.
It was like experimenting a little bit, wasn't it? Like,
yeah,
with writing and what you guys had as ideas, and then I kind of joined the fold and wasn't really sure what was going to happen with that. So we just did a few open mic nights, nothing really
it
serious.
was just songwriting for fun, really.
It was just for fun.
And then we were like, oh, we could do something with this.
Yeah,
So.
this sounds good. Let's make it a bigger sound, and the rest is history, really.
Yeah, excellent. And you got, I know, Chloe, you did something solo earlier this year, didn't you, or late last year?
Yes, I did. Yeah, so I did my Chloe Josephine band. I was doing that around the same time as Brave Rival started, or even Patchwork Story, our acoustic trio, started. Maybe even before that, possibly. But yeah, so, and that's kind of more soul, funk, disco. So that's my soul sister side of me that I get to release. Whereas in Brave Rival, it's obviously the pain of the blues and my rock chick coming out.
Yeah,
But
you're absolute rock
it means
chick.
I get to celebrate the happy bits of me in my other band.
It's because you're so talented at writing that you have all this swimming around, and you need an outlet.
Yeah, I need to get it out.
Okay, yeah.
I think the other project is amazing too.
Oh.
So really, it's sort of taken you 7 years to become overnight sensations.
Yeah, absolutely. We'll take that.
Okay, good. So I know the new album's sort of well, it's still fairly new. It's only been sort of available to the general public for a couple of months, and you've been out on the road and whatever. But I'm guessing that there's already ideas knocking around for new songs for a third album.
Oh, absolutely.
Oh yeah.
There's no complete song yet,
No.
I don't believe, but
we haven't actually had a writing session yet.
No, we've been too busy. We don't even have time to rehearse at the moment. But if we're at a particular venue, some venues clearly inspire us. Like, there's one venue that we've ended up writing both times we've gone there, like just in the sound check.
Okay.
That was in I want to say Dudley.
Oh yeah, in the Lab Tavern.
Yeah, we've ended up when we're sound checking, we might start jamming something, or Donna has a travel guitar in the back of the tour van, so she'll get that out and we might come up with some ideas just because we're feeling creative. Yeah, so we've come up with lots of ideas. There's probably about 15 floating around in our Google Drive folder, but just ideas that might just be a verse and a chorus, or a riff or something like that.
Yeah, one day we'll actually have a session in the studio when we have some time and start writing some new material.
Yeah, it's when you're out there on the road all the time, it's difficult, isn't it? And you know, studio time is precious time, really. You need to be sort of aware. You need to have sort of your ducks in line when you get there to a degree, don't you? Because it's so expensive.
Yeah. I feel like our pattern is going to be similar this time. Hello. The cat's come. Come here, Joby. Come on, Joby. You're right in front of the camera. Come here. Come here, good girl.
Yeah. I thought I was going to get my studio technician come and help me this morning as well, but she's asleep on the bed next door.
That's where she's just been asleep on the bed, or grooming herself on the bed in the warm room.
Yeah.
But why even it's the cold room?
I've always dreamt I'd love us to have like hire like a really beautiful big Airbnb or cottage somewhere, with an building where we can just stay there for the whole week or a very long weekend and just write the whole time.
That'd be cool.
Lovely. I'd love
I've
to do
never
that.
experienced that.
Yeah, I'd love to do that. But then we're always away gigging, so when we're not gigging, we want to be at home. So.
Yeah, absolutely, yeah.
Bands do it. A lot of bands, like, you know, you see other bands like When Rivers Meet, they're constantly putting out music, and I know that they're a couple, so it's maybe a little easier.
They don't gig as much as we do. I think we gig probably the most out of a lot of the bands on the scene.
Yeah, maybe. I feel like we put an album out and then we tour it solidly for 2 years, and
Yeah.
within that 2 years, we take some of that time to write, and then we put out another album. I feel like that's going to be the pattern again this year, because we haven't got any time set aside for recording or anything. We're just doing it as we go.
Yeah.
But I like the fact that we really take our time to get it right. You know, like 2 years is a good amount of time in between, I think. There's other stuff that comes out in that time as well, like EPs. But
I also feel like it represents how you are in your life at that time. If you release an album every year, you haven't really changed that much as a person or as a band or as a sound even. Like with Life's Machine, it kind of represented what was happening in our lives at that time.
Yeah, it's a different way of doing it, sure.
You know, and it summarized how we were feeling, it summarized what was going on in the world, whereas Fight or Flight is summarizing how we're feeling now, which is more energized. There's more energy in this record. There's more like passion and fire and determination rather than maybe sorrow that there was in Life's Machine. It's representing how we are now. So who knows where we'll be in 2 years' time, I think.
Yeah, there's no right or wrong way of doing or putting out music or doing any of it. But I think this way works for us.
Yeah, I can see that. I think Chloe made a really interesting point there about you do tend to gig more than a lot of other bands, though, don't you? Because you find that they'll do half a dozen gigs on a tour, and then they may do 2 or 3 dotted in here and there. But you're sort of constantly gigging all the time with festivals and your own gigs, and individuals and tour gigs and whatever. So you are on the road.
Because we're crazy, Tony. That's because we're mental.
We're hardworking, Chloe. We're not mental. We're hardworking.
Yeah, absolutely. Hardworking, yes. You like to take your music out to your people.
Absolutely. There's nothing better than playing live. You'll agree with me.
Chloe just rocking there.
No, I love playing live. It's awesome. It takes over me. I love it.
It's the best. That's why we do it so often. We all love it as well. We're all completely, in this. So
yeah. And I think it's really quite interesting when you watch you play live about how you're all in it, if you know what I mean. You watch some bands and you don't get the feeling that everybody's actually in it at the same place at the same time. But when you watch you think that that's right. There's a whole, it's almost like a bubble around you where you're all in there together. And I think that shows to the audience, that sort of togetherness sort of embraces the audience as well.
Oh, that's lovely. It's true. We do all give everything we've got, and like obviously we are only human. Like there's some days where one of us might be struggling mentally or might be ill, whatever. But we always, all of us, always give our best, no matter how we're feeling. We'll give our best on that day. But if someone is slightly under the weather, I notice that all of us give them more energy, or we'll crank up our own energy to give them the strength to give even more.
It's like a natural thing that happens, isn't it?
Yeah. Well, we're looking forward to seeing that energy, that bubble of energy, on Friday night in Hastings, and we'll be giving you. I'm sure you'll get a big welcome from the crowd there.
Oh, great! It's going to be fun.
You'll be obviously, as is the norm for See You There promotions, we will be feeding you with a hot home cooked meal.
Hey,
that's the only reason we come, Tony.
I know, it's the only reason anybody comes now. Whenever bands gig, they never mention me, Phil, or Cliff. They always mention Michelle's wonderful lasagnas and things like that.
She does make great food.
I hope she's okay. I know that she's been a little poorly, so I hope give her a lot of love.
Yeah, she's. I think she's on the road to recovery now because she's just had an op. I understand she made some trousers for you.
She's made me the best trousers. She's also making me another couple of pairs. I don't know if she's been well enough to make the last couple yet, but when she made me my last pair of orange crushed velvet orange flares. I have worn them at every single gig since. I mean, I can't take them off. They're the best thing ever.
Okay, so we'll be seeing them in action on Friday night then, will we?
Absolutely will, yes.
Bringing them home, really, I suppose.
Yes.
Yeah, Michelle, can I have them back now?
Oh, it'd break my heart. It really would. It really would break my heart.
Oh, thanks very much. Thanks very much for.
You guys always look after us so nicely, so we can't wait to come back. It's going to be fun, and looking forward to seeing the new space.
We try. We think it's important that we look after bands that we bring down, because we're there for the music as well. We're just in it to bring great music. Well, actually, we're in it to bring bands that we want to see. Really.
Love that.
Anyway, thanks very much for sparing the time to come to talk to me today. It's been great, and we'll see you on Friday. Thank you.
Thank you, Tony. Thanks for being patient and reorganizing.
You're welcome. See you Friday.
Bye.
Bye.